Turning the mic on might help. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the streaming. Hello.
Hello all, and welcome to another round of, complete bullshit, really.
Hopefully that's what they're here for.
Yeah, I hope they're not expecting a whole lot of good.
Not on this channel.
How far behind am I? You haven't even said hello to me yet.
Oh, Lord.
Gonna go ahead and see if I can catch up.
Is it that bad?
Ish.
Am I staring into the nothingness yet?
What do you mean yet? That's your existence.
True.
Okay, you just asked if you were staring into the nothingness. That's where I am right now.
Oh, boy.
So it's gonna be one of those nights, everybody. I hope you're ready. So prepare for me to be late to a whole lot of reactions, and you can do nothing about it, because I can do nothing about it, because we can do nothing about it, because you can do nothing about it, viewer.
As you can see, I have redecorated.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
Press the enter button.
Hey,
yeah.
Sloss.
Long
Been
time.
forever.
Literally, long time no see. Welcome the back. So, as you all know, in typical damaged fashion, starting off the stream with a side quest.
Yes. My vagina would have it no other way.
Is there a decency law that applies to just such things?
Lots of D&D and Genshin.
I can sympathize with you on one of those things, because yesterday I went and did D&D.
He did the dind.
I did do the dend. Hey there, Alex, or Zin, or... What do you call now?
Whoever you are.
I will kill all trespassers, Patzo. Get down, Stronzo. What are you doing there?
Okay, I'm just gonna stick with Alex.
Starting off the day by breaking a man's arm.
There! He's bolting!
Lovely day.
That's how you know it's gonna be a good one.
And kneeing another one in the face. Okay, so before we started, I went and did the rest of the viewpoints and got all of the other codex pages.
Alright, cool.
And as you can see if you look at my shoulders closely, I have the shoulder armor.
Give me like 40 minutes to see that.
Yeah, it had been a while up to this point for me too, Alex. Then I got it, and it's like, holy shit, yes. PC version way better. Damn. You ever just felt the need to chokeslam a man?
Yes. I called it high school.
Free-to-play characters are actually useful. In my short stream of Genshin, I did feel that. But yeah, Alex, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, because I think as I described in the first stream, the original Xbox 360 version, every female's dress looked like it was made out of saltwater taffy. And like soaking wet constantly.
Now just their skin looks like that.
Yeah.
Etsu, so good to see you.
It was especially worse on fucking Claudia, because like in 2 it's like, dear God, what is that dress? And then you move to Brotherhood and it's like, oh, she was wearing a dress. Got it.
And the language shift. Give me a moment. It's done.
Well, as I'm not including you when I say this, Sloth, but Genshin has kind of fallen the same thing as like Rick and Morty and stuff. It's not the thing itself that has become the problem. It is most of the fan base that's become the problem.
Isn't that just the saddest thing about anything? It's
Like-
not so much the product, it's the people who like the product.
Or a specific subset of the audience.
Yep.
Because then you get the rest of the audience who's like, I'm just here to watch, play / do the thing. I'm not with these people. Ubisoft's graphics engine really hasn't changed that much, has it? No, not really. At least no one looks like they're made out of like leather anymore.
If you really think about it, we all are made of leather.
True. Just undried.
Yep.
It is well.
Non-treated leather.
You play solo, don't really deal with that. Yeah, true.
Okay, so I managed to catch up to like 3 seconds of latency, so that's good.
Okay. Are you guys ready to rob the church?
Finally, when does this happen?
On the walls. And when your men paint the dome, take care not to disturb any of the sacred relics in the lanterna on top. They are the most important artifacts in our church.
Yes, Padre. Just make sure to pay us the full sum for our work.
At least when you're walking on wood in this game, it doesn't sound like you're walking on glass. I remember that. So to clarify that, back when it first came out, I did like one stream on Valhalla, and Alex was there for most of it. And whenever you would walk on or jump onto wooden planks, they would sound not like wood.
It would sound like the cries of the damned.
Valhalla armor is so shit, and half of it is just paid DLC. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, even the fucking, like, main clan armor, when you first get it, it's like, oh, cool, yeah, that looks alright. And then you upgrade it to the second level, and you're like, dear God, this looks horrendous. And then you upgrade it to the third level, and it's like, okay, that's better. Every single armor set in Valhalla has at least one stage where it looks like absolute shit until you upgrade it again, and then it's like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, considering that you prefer to pick your character's armor based on aesthetic more than actual necessity,
Mostly, yeah.
would you consider it a boon or a curse that in Dark Souls 3 it really doesn't matter?
Oh yeah.
Bene. Now I have a way back up in case I
That
fall.
sounds more serviceable for me than anything else.
Yeah, you get to just pick whatever aesthetic you like. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Or the one stream was all you needed for that travesty.
Are we talking about Valhalla or Genshin Impact?
Valhalla. Or both. He could be talking about both. I don't know.
I mean, I actually do enjoy the fact that games
Okay.
will sometimes let you do aesthetic armor as opposed to benefits armor. I'm definitely one of those people who prefers to pick the armor from the benefits from the benefit side of it and have this ridiculous looking
Oh.
armor set.
Oh, I kind of do that too. Usually when I first start out, because when I first start out, I'm definitely all about stats. So like, if it ups my stats even a bit, I'm like slapping every single thing. Like my arm plates are armor, my boots are leather, my chest piece is fucking something that I just randomly found in a chest. It's only until later in big RPGs where I'm just like, okay, now I want it to look good. But in most games, they don't. Most games aren't RPGs, so they don't really do that. Genshin Breath of Fresh Air.
Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't some effects on Dark Souls 3 armor that are not very useful, but for the most part, like the stats that are attached don't really affect too much.
Yeah.
So you're better off just picking whatever you think looks best.
Or, my personal favorite, one of the good things that Odyssey did do is, hey, you're wearing a piece of armor, and you've unlocked, and you have another piece of armor, so you have unlocked its aesthetic set in your essentially look transmog inventory. Do you want to make this armor look literally the exact same as that piece of armor? Oh, you do. Okay, just hit square and choose it.
Yeah, that's a good little feature. I like that.
It's just a laundry
armor skins.
As long as you've collected the armor piece and you've unlocked it, you can make it look like any fucking thing you want. And that's one of the good things that Odyssey did. What surprised you was the quality of the story for Genshin Impact. Yeah, it was serviceable. It was definitely a lot more than I was expecting from it, that's for sure.
I'll say from what I saw of that one stream, I was not impressed. As a matter of fact, I was kind of creeped out alongside Damaged when I watched it. I'm like, wow, this game is quiet.
I mean, not to burst Slot's bubble or to be to be among the list of people who constantly say it. Kind of Breath of the Wildy. Very much so.
Yeah, it's unavoidable to make that comparison.
I remember one video. Am I getting Altair's arm in this game? Of course I am. I'm doing the first mission literally right now. Well, technically second mission, even though the first tomb is like given to you. But yeah, I watched one video, literally right out the gate, the guy was like, people keep comparing this to Breath of the Wild, but it's not a fair comparison. I'm like, have you played Breath of the Wild, sir? This is almost like shot for shot sometimes.
No, that's not a unfair comparison to make because Breath of the Wild is an accomplishment. That is a very good game. So comparing Genshin Impact to Breath of the Wild, that means they're at a similar level, at the very least.
Yeah. Something like that.
That's no insult.
I figured you would, because who wouldn't? I'm gonna be totally honest. Yes, the getting all
hate me for what?
getting all of the armor from the shops and the ending regular armor looks fine, but there's just no comparing it to the Altair armor. Don't let the breaking of weapons and lack of voice acting. Okay, I'll give it to you on the weapon breaking, because that is really annoying.
I feel like the weapon breaking is a necessary thing, but I don't like the frequency of it. I feel like they could have.
That's mostly what it is. That's mostly what it is. Like, if it just like degraded and like the stats or something went down, I'd be fine with that. It's just the fact that it's, it just explodes in your fucking hands, and you can't like repair it or anything. It's just gone.
I feel like they should have made like a forge or a blacksmith or something, where you can go and have your weapons repaired or upgraded.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, like, if it's
the weapons deteriorate.
Yeah, like if it's just a
point where they're like
deteriorating system, that's fine. It's just when it outright explodes in your hands, that's when we have a problem.
I feel like it should have like a ranking system of like sturdy, of like well-made, sturdy, flimsy, and broken. And when a weapon is broken, you can get like up to 7 to 10 more swings of it, and if you keep using that broken weapon, it will blow up.
Yeah.
And you keep that guaranteed critical hit attack when it does blow up, so that way there's like an incentive to do it at the very least.
Yeah.
But if it's a weapon you want to keep a hold of, you can take it to that forge and get it fixed.
Have you seen Nintendo's track record for voice acting? Yeah, some of it's not good.
I'm going to go ahead and say Philips CDI Zelda and leave it there. That was the voice acting in Zelda. We're just going to leave that alone.
And then the backwards feeling controls was the nail in the coffin.
I can see why people wouldn't like Breath of the Wild. I'm not going to say that it's amazing and a perfect game, because that would be a lie. There are plenty of problems with it, but I personally do enjoy playing it because it's a nice zen feeling. I don't like gacha games, so I don't think I would be very into Genshin Impact.
That's one of the other things it was for me. Well, time to rob this tomb of my predecessor. Want to know what all we take from this thing? A seal.
One nutsack.
Pretty sure this assassin was a lady. So yeah, one nutsack. Super Mario Sunshine and Other M. Yeah, you got a point there. Holy shit, how did I get up here? And that's
yeah,
all.
I agree with you on that.
And that's all that
That
comes
is
down
true.
to.
people just need to get less up in arms about the differences of taste.
Yeah. Okay, now that we've done that, you would think that now would be the time to go straight into the story mission. Well, you would be wrong, because I want to do the seal and get the money from my house. But when we come back, definitely getting started.
Hey, I mean, if it's to get the best armor in the game, why not?
Oh, shit. There's an assassin tomb here as well. Well,
Sweet.
fuck. Although I'm pretty sure that's just money in DLC, but hey, why not?
Pleasure, signore. Return anytime.
What did you like about gacha games is that they're always updating the game so there's something to do. Then why not play an MMO? Point. MMO stories are shit.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't all that great, and the ones that and there's usually not really an end to most of them either.
Not really. Not unless you start from the literal very beginning, which for some MMOs are like years of content. But that's why cataloging YouTube channels of those MMOs are a godsend. Okay, should we upgrade our sword, or should we go for a beating stick?
Will that replace our sword?
The sword we have now? Yes.
I would say we upgrade our sword.
Okay.
Here you go, sir. Mention me to your amici.
Say hello to
the
say hello to the
Ezio...
sword that Altair gets at the end of the game, which isn't the sword he's known for.
I would say the way I'm looking at it is Ezio is Italian. He is definitely going to be sticking to the whole
Fencing? Blades?
fencing motif. He likes to fist fight and stuff like that, but he's very much a technical fighter. He's not a beat him down guy. Despite the fact that we made him physically superior.
That we've made him the beat 'em up guy.
Yeah.
You played ESO for a time? I played ESO for all of 10 minutes. I gave it... Ha! That's a lot of paper.
How much did we get? Oh, good night, yeah. What sorcery did you just commit?
Which? Now, before we burn you at the stake, tell me. Please tell me you're not married to an all-powerful vampire lord.
Yes?
Okay, well, fuck. We can't do it now. You need friends to play with?
Alright, sure. You're free to go.
You seriously let me go? Hey, we saw what happened to those motherfuckers in Targo Vista. We're not dealing with that shit.
And that was a great show.
I'm actually rewatching it now because I'm like, you know what? I could just pick up where I left off at season 3, but I don't fucking remember what happened in the last 2 seasons, so I'm gonna rewatch it. Just fuck it. Show's good. Graham McTavish is fucking amazing as Dracula. Boop. Come on, game. Show me the information. Atop this pedestal stands the statue of Darius, the male Persian assassin. He used his hidden blade to kill Xerxes. This was the first recorded use of the hidden blade. You meet him in Odyssey. And he's a dick.
Since we were on the subject earlier, what the...
Atop this pedestal stands a statue of Iltani, the female Babylonian assassin. She poisoned Alexander the Great. MMOs, you expect the grind for loot to carry the game. True, but it also helps if the story is decent to play through. Which, as you pointed out, they're mostly not.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I got like a message for some reason. I think that was one of the major failings of Overwatch, despite the fact that it's like this team versus team game.
Mm-hmm.
There should have been a story mode.
Yeah, and they kind of throw hints at you at it with those like special missions that revolved around a story, but they never went anywhere.
And they were limited time, so if you weren't available to play them, tough shit, which sucked.
Time to learn about my family history. And then as Alex pointed out earlier, look at Destiny. It was alright, and then they made it shit. I was raised in a small house by the Venetian lagoon, within sight of the rough foam-capped waves of the sea. When I was barely old enough to walk, I became a sailor, navigating the Atlantic first as an apprentice and then while carrying cargo for my father's patron, Messer Marco Polo. It was a good life.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
And then the Fire Nation attacked with its pop-punk music intro.
I don't remember a pop-punk music intro, but...
There's a trend going around the internet now of saying that the song Dear Maria by... What the fuck's their name? It's not Fall Out Boy. Hold up. I'm stupid. All Time Low. There's a trend going around the internet of people putting All Time Low to different show intros, mostly animes, because apparently it has the same beats as most anime intros. And someone decided to put it on the intro of Avatar, and it fucking worked.
Interesting. I will have to see that.
One day, while ashore in the harbor looking for work, I fell in love. She was barely 20, but when I looked into her eyes, the whole world was reflected back, clearer and brighter than the sun. After that, I still went to sea, but my heart remained on land with the girl who would become my wife and our young son. Wait, she became your young son? Isn't that fucked up?
That is a bit weird.
It's why you love Genshin Impact so much. It's free. They make a shit ton of money for waifus you don't need, and you get constant content. You don't like that they have limited time characters. Oh yeah, it's just a money scheme. That's all it is. One afternoon that summer, Messer Polo called me into his study. My father was already there, beside an older man, dressed in a strange hooded cape, watching us. At that moment, everything about my life changed. My father told me that he was an assassin. Removing his ring, he showed me a strange marking on his finger, explaining that our family came from an ancient order that protected and defended mankind. He paused, and then when I didn't speak, Messer Polo stepped forward. He told me that the stranger in the hood would teach me, and in return I would carry him across the Mediterranean to Spain. And so began my apprenticeship with Dante Alighieri, one that was to destroy every bit of happiness I would ever have.
That dickhead.
Well, yeah, watching that motherfucker write that book was probably, like, soul-crushing.
Well, his uncle Iroh was pretty cool.
True. I mean, he got better after a while, but...
Yeah, but it took him a bit. Like a whole year.
Oh, shit.
If it is, this will be the first I've heard of it.
It is. I think it releases straight to YouTube in like a few days, last time I heard.
So, like a new Avatar show, or is it just Avatar: The Last Airbender being re-released again?
It's a new Avatar show.
Huh.
Then a free meal, but still better quality than some $60 games I played. Yeah. I have had some great fun with some free games. I guess it's lookup time. New fan-driven Avatar series coming to YouTube this month.
Okay, so it's a fan series.
But it's a fan series, but it has Nickelodeon's stamp.
Okay.
Oh, it happened on Earth Day. Shit. I'll have to look that up later. In preparation for our voyage, Messer Alighieri met with me repeatedly. At first, our meetings were about purchasing supplies, but soon they became about higher things, about life, love, honor, and justice. He taught me that society was set up in such a way as to control its members, to stop us from thinking, from seeing. Soon I could look past all the laws and illusions. I understood that mankind was being used by its rulers, that we, the people, deserved freedom. It was then that Dante began showing me pages from a book that Messer Polo had brought back from the palace of the great Genghis Khan. The manuscript, the Codex, was about our order, the Assassins.
Yeah, that is the thing about fan series slots. It's either going to be real good or real cringe.
Yep.
And it's it's not exactly a good sign in my eyes that it has Nickelodeon stamp on it.
We can only see.
All we can do is wait, but I hope for the best.
Alex said Super Mario Bros. Z was good.
I agree with that. That was good. I still need to finish it. I haven't had the time to actually watch it recently.
Well, R.I.P. Darker Tones.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Pray to God we're not working Friday. Okay, let's reset this because I got confused. Just glad Dragon Prince wasn't canceled. Still need to watch that. I heard there was a boomerang reference, so that made me happy.
If it is a fan series, and it is cringe, I want one thing from it. And only because it will be cringe.
What's that?
I want that series to acknowledge just how many ladies Sokka could have got.
Just to point it out.
Yeah, because I mean, there was Princess Yue, there was Ty Lee, there was Yuki, and there were plenty of other women, like the poetry club, that were into Sokka. Now, I only want this if it's cringe. If it's a good series, I hope it's never addressed.
I hope it's by Sokka's voice actor. That'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
What day are you putting in PTO for this week, Alex? Our planned voyage never took place. While returning to Ravenna to pick up the remainder of his belongings, Dante died. Dismayed at the loss of my mentor, I went to inform my father and Messer Polo of the sad news. Before I could even speak, I was ushered into the study, and my father, his face white, locked the door behind me. Shocked, I listened in silence as he spoke. Dante intended to take the Codex to Spain, where it would be safe, but he was being watched. The enemy of the assassins, the Knights Templar, still existed. I recalled the stories he told me of the Templars, and it all became clear. Dante had been murdered. The Templars knew about the Codex, and they knew about us. Shaking, my father told me to take the Codex and leave for Spain at once with my wife and child. As Messer Polo ushered me to the door, he handed me a small piece of paper with a number on it. With this number, I could draw on his credit more ducats? Yeah, I don't know. Than I had ever seen in my life at any bank in Italy. Talking about the boomerang reference. Oh yeah, it was. I heard about that.
I don't remember. Did Sokka ever get his space sword back? Or was that just lost?
Apparently he did between the ending of Airbender and Korra. I don't know fucking how,
This
but...
was like one of the coolest things he ever got.
I don't know fucking how he managed to fucking do that, but...
Knowing Sokka, he painstakingly searched every single island that was around. And once his leg got better.
Where's that?
He probably had Toph help him look for it, too.
Probably.
That's another one he could have gotten. He could have gotten Toph.
A lot of people say he did.
Is this because Toph had a daughter?
No, because her other daughter has darker skin.
Ah.
But that's just a theory.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say it's a well-supported theory because there is such a thing as getting a tan.
True. She did? I don't ever remember hearing her who she said the father was. But anyway, Alex, what was the holy shit comment for? Something happened that I'm not aware of? We set sail that night, the ship filled with cargo to sell in the markets at Barcelona. At first all was well, then to avoid a coming storm, we laid anchor in the Otranto harbor. Cloaked in darkness, the pirates came. I didn't see them until they were already boarding my ship. I hid with my family in the hold. Pulling out the codex, I ran the worn leather cover through my hands. Then I broke the spine. The pages slid silently onto the floor. I scouted them into the chests, boxes, and containers I was carrying to market. The men who found us were drunk. I could smell it on their breath. When they asked for the codex, I knew who had sent them. Holding back my rage, I said that I had thrown it overboard. They started to laugh. Two held me down, still grinning, while the rest cut off my wife's clothes. She begged for mercy until her voice gave out. Once they were done, they threw her into the sea. Yeah, okay, this took a turn. They took my cargo and sunk my ship, and left me adrift clinging to a piece of railing. I made it to the beach with my son. My wife's body washed up on the shore the next morning with the tide. Alright.
Yeah.
That went dark for a second.
That was a dark turn. That went somewhere.
The book club ain't gonna like this chapter.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a video of just a compilation about Toph being an old lady.
Right.
And she did give a name. I can't remember what it was, but she's like, he was a very nice man, and we got together. That was pretty much it.
Hmm.
It was a throwaway line at best, just to be like, see, it wasn't Sokka. It wasn't Sokka.
I never saw the sea again. Making my way to Florence, I rented a small room and then visited the bank. I had memorized Polo's account number. With the vast sum I now had at my disposal, I went to Venice in disguise to find my father. I returned to Florence the next day. Both Polo and my father were already dead. From that moment forward, I collected treatises on architecture, studied the classics, and took vocal lessons. I adopted the name Auditore, impersonating a noble at the Florentine court. Accepted as one of their own, I took on the trappings of nobility and constructed this villa for me and my son. And then I hunted them. I raised my son to fight, to find the Codex, and to kill Templars. Together we would regain the honor of my wife and avenge the death of my father. Two debts that could never be repaid. To the auditory that reads this, remember that you are not a nobleman. You are not one of the deceivers, you are one of the people. Avenge us.
Huh. So this was a tragedy story.
I personally thought that the Avatar, after the story Avatar comics were gonna lead us to believe that it was the fucking dude that Toph starts that factory with.
I never actually read those. But that's because I never actually found them, so.
I found a guy on iFunny, or a person on iFunny who posted them all.
Cool.
I read almost all of them, but then I got to the one where they changed the art style from the show, and I stopped reading. Hey, 3,000 florins for that.
Nice. Let's buy a gun.
They haven't perfected that technology yet.
Not yet. That's in Brotherhood.
And of course you dumped me out the ass end of the fucking thing, and now I have to walk all the way back to the entrance. Yours. Already saddled and everything. Perfect.
I am stealing your horse. I will use it to beat men with.
I will teach it to fight.
I would go to a horse fighting ring. That'd be awesome.
It'd be very interesting to watch.
Have you ever seen giraffes fight?
Oh yeah, they just like sling their heads at each other. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, treat it's like flails.
And it's funny because the video that shows them doing it, it looks like they're not gonna do it until they get like a little bit spread apart from each other, and then they just
Yeah, they just swing their necks at each other. It's hilarious.
To return, you need my help.
I don't know about that, Doctor Man.
Yeah, you guys are right. Like, Toph never would have been one to get married. She doesn't like getting tied down by anything.
No.
Another time. I may be expensive, but my good
No, thank you, Mr. Closed Eye Man. I am the Crimson Fucker and must stay as such.
Oh yeah, it's something about Monkey Yatso.
Buongiorno.
Salute, Ser Ezio. Shall we take a look at the list?
Oh yeah, this fact. I know this fact, I think. Yeah, his body isn't burnt at all. The bodies and stuff around him is. There's something like that. You want to see the avatar that does such shit in the name of order?
Like the one who has to make the hard decisions and has to be the bad guy despite being the good guy.
Buon viaggio.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
The Avatar who makes an enemy of himself. That'd be cool.
Apparently he killed all the firebenders, including himself, by sucking all the air out of the room. Badass.
Ah, there you are.
I mean, that's one way to go down, like a legend.
Isn't that like the fucking like hidden mantra of the show is badass old dudes.
There was really only one old dude that wasn't badass, and that was the one who kept trying to, like, draw the Avatar spirit out of, the Avatar state out of Yang. Or, not out of Yang, out of Aang. Blech. I'm sorry, I am not good at talking.
I didn't mean to do this. Shit.
No. He was cool. I'm talking about that Earth Nation guy who was like, we're gonna weaponize the Avatar state.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that asshole. Like, his big moment was like, I only tricked you to think I hurt her so that way I'd draw it out. And it worked! I mean, as far as a fighter goes, he was capable,
You're
but
always welcome here, Ezio. Come
I wouldn't
back
say he was
anytime.
badass.
No. I mean, he was decent enough to make the rank that he did, but he wasn't, like, exemplary. That sinking shit was turfing. Or
I think he means terrifying.
terrifying. Okay.
But yeah, when he pulled Katara under the earth, that was creepy. Like, that's a dreadful thing to do to somebody.
Have you ever drowned in the dirt?
Percy did.
Yeah. Okay, the last stream I said that art merchants are fairly useless. And they still are, but the one thing they're good for is treasure maps.
Sweet.
And that's like it. I wouldn't want to fight Azula or Ozai.
Yeah, no, neither would I.
Hey, Streamlabs.
You know what character?
Hey, Streamlabs,
You know what kind of
could you not be
character-
spammy? Thank you. Say what again?
You know what character I want to see in an Avatar show?
Who's
I
that?
want to see somebody who's who's a non-bender,
Right.
but still practices very heavily in martial arts and is able to stand toe-to-toe against a bender.
Well, the way they could, I think,
I didn't watch Korra. I could not get into it. I tried.
well, I think he's also talking about someone who's not, like, you know, the Avatar. I mean, all of the Avatar, all of the element bending techniques are based on real life martial arts anyway. So all someone would have to do is just learn the bending techniques and just not expect anything, and they already know how to do everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, they need to be a non-bender. They can't bend.
Yeah.
But what they can do is fight, and very effectively. And I'm not even saying they have to do it barehanded. I'm just saying that they have to be. They can have weapons and stuff like that, but they have a very practical martial art that allows them to work around bending.
I mean, they do have a point with chi. Are y'all talking about chi blocking? Okay, yeah, they're talking about chi blocking. All right.
Okay, yeah. I completely forgot that Ty Lee was a chi blocker.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Did they have? To my knowledge, I don't think they had a character who all they could do was a chi blocker. because I think that's where the road that Dingus is going down. Prevent the conspirators from attacking the Medici family. Now that we're an hour in, let's start the mission. Yeah, they made them all like secret spy agents and shit. It was weird. Streamlabs, I swear to God, stop.
I'm pretty sure it's a bot.
No, you know, it's the Streamlabs bot.
There's Lorenzo, his wife. There's Giuliano, Lorenzo's brother. Where is Francesco? There he is. Time to strike.
Crepa! Traditore! Giuliano! No!
In terms of how far I got into Korra, I made it up to the point where they showed that one guy in the mask who could take people's bending. There was that demonstration where he could do that, and then they were running.
Your day is done, Lorenzo. Your entire family dies.
I just lost interest around that point. I wasn't enjoying watching it anymore.
You brought this on yourself. Die! Just die already! Please! I need help!
I mean, there's some moments in the first 2 seasons, but yeah, most of it's just, oh, this is happening.
Oh, you stabbed him in the balls from behind. Good night.
Yeah, that's the kill move from the first game. Frickin' laser beams.
Yeah, I don't think mechs work in an Avatar world. Just kind of sounds dumb.
Like father, like son, I guess.
I'm more than capable of
That he's a big old crybaby bitch.
Pretty much.
Speaking of mechs, I never really was into like mecha shows.
saved my life.
It's nothing. But the man
Except
who
for
did this to
Gurren.
you has to pay.
Yeah, because Gurren Lagann was actually
I
really
need
well
help
done.
first. To my home. People I trust there. Can you?
Yeah, Code Geass was also well done. The thing I don't like about mech shows is, more than anything, it focuses on the mechs.
I'm losing a
Yeah.
lot of blood.
And I'm sure you're
Hang on,
thinking, well, yeah, duh, of
I'm
course.
moving as fast as I
But
can.
what I mean by that is, they don't focus on the characters enough. They just assume you're there to watch 2 robots fight, and you don't really care who's in the robot.
Yeah.
What matters is you want to care about the characters. Then the robot fight matters.
Signore. Conserve your energy, or I'll be delivering
That's why I
a
can't
corpse.
really get into Gundam.
We're almost there now.
I had hoped combat could be avoided.
Yeah, Gundam is just the antithesis of what I enjoy. And I'm not gonna watch Evangelion either. because I know that's just gonna bum me out.
Well, that's you can blame the creator on that because you're like, so why is there that one section of Evangelion that gets really depressing? He's like, oh, it's because I was depressed at the time, so I wanted everybody to feel my pain. And it's like, oh, got it. Fuck you.
I'm not gonna say that it's bad because it bums people out. Some people actually enjoy watching those kinds of things. I'm just not one of them.
Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans was real good. They actually had good characters.
Enjoy this.
Let's get this old man home.
Combat could stay close. Lorenzo's been wounded. Aprite la porta. What's the password? Polizia, open the maledetta porta. By the thrice greatest, come in quickly. The city is at war. Hurry. Wait. I am in your debt. Tell me, why did you help me?
Why didn't you open the fucking door then?
My name is Ezio Auditore.
You're Giovanni's son. Your father was a good man. He understood honor, loyalty. The Pazzi thugs are storming the Palazzo della Signoria. We cannot hold them off much longer. No. If they get inside, they'll murder our supporters and put their own devils in power. Then my survival would mean nothing. I have to... Francesco de Pazzi. Help save our city, Auditore. Kill him.